Hi guys, my name is Andrea Moje. This is my setup for today. I'm going to be doing some one-stroke roses on my face. This is the palette that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be squeezing in my colors just like a one-stroke, and you can reactivate it with 99% alcohol or 91% alcohol. So if I wanted to reactivate, I can reactivate with that, or I can reactivate with the ProAiir. So I am going to squeeze my colors into my palette. I'm going to do a pink and I'm going to do a yellow. And I'm going to start with a 3/4 inch. So I'm going to be working on the left side of my eye. I have some bling from Dove Mills, which I absolutely adore. Now, when you're doing a one-stroke rose, you want to make sure that your white is always on the outside when you're doing your blending. And what I found as I'm squeezing into here, I do the yellow and then pink and then white on the tip. And this is where I'm going to be blending back and forth. I like to be in control of my paint, and I like to make sure that it's right where I want it before I load it onto my face. So sometimes in the container it dries out really fast, so I close the lid. So now my lid is closed. Go back and reload. Some very simple lines. Doing the same thing, turning my brush down. 1, 2. Making sure it goes towards the side of my mouth and going up and away from my face. I added a little tiny bit of white on the tip of the yellow. Go back in one more time here, like that. So if it's not as dark as you would want it the first time, go ahead and reload, or even pick up a little bit more of the makeup. There we go. So I pick up a little more white. Again, I'm just working my brush back and forth. So if I were to show you on here, it's just stroking back and forth so you get that. So you can go over and then the under, but you want to make sure that on the under you see a little bit of that piece. Pulling it down into here. Pulling it down into here. So I already had makeup loaded on my brush from the last time I used the green. I can add a little tiny bit more into my palette, just like this, just like so. And you just have to reactivate the paint that was already on your brush from previous. What I like to use, I use a little baby bottle because it has a nice little opening. And if you have to reactivate it, just like that, and then you rub it back out on your mixing palette. So I'm just working it back and forth to get the desired color. I like it to be really rich and green, so this is a beautiful green. I would go back in with one of these guys, and I'd load my brush with yellow, and then I would dip the tip into the white, and then I would do my little double dips going down towards my mouth, my little double dips going up towards my hairline like that, pulling now down towards my focal point going this way. So I'm going to pull some more color in there. I also like to do some little tiny dots. on the inside of my flower. Something like that. Now I wanted to use this really beautiful blue. It's so shimmery, oh my goodness gracious. It's just gorgeous. My number 2 in my Creative Faces series. And I'm gonna load that blue, completely load it all the way down to the ferrule. And then I'm gonna do pink on the tip, just like that. Because this has some really pretty, her bling has some really pretty blue in it, and I'd like to pick that hint up of blue with some purple. Just like that. That blue is so beautiful, my goodness. Some little petal flowers. Just like that. And maybe over here I can do a little petal flower. Like that. Picking up a little bit of white in the center. Making it very vibrant. Going with my bling. Brush that I was doing my leaf work with. And I'm going to pull like that. Pull, pull. I'm going to pull down here where I created this towards my mouth. Pull, pull. I'm loving it. Super pretty. That blue again is just wonderful. Now, my palette is still workable. So if I wanted to go in and I wanted to darken some of these pieces up in here, so maybe this wasn't dark enough for me here, I would darken that up a little bit, and even inside of this piece here. So I do a little bit of shadowing. And I would use blue for the shadow. And I wasn't too impressed with that flower I just made, so let me try another one. That's the one great thing about these dips, is once it dries, you can go and re-over it. Over and over. If you didn't like it, you can redo it. I like doing just little tiny dots. Something fun like that. And you know, sometimes I don't even clean my brush in between. Just kind of like a party of color. I'm activating it with a little bit of alcohol. And I'm gonna do some little dots going down over here. This is just fun, little double dips and dots and 1-stroke flowers. And then I would add some sparkles to it. And if you had a little extra time and you wanted to do a little bit of black line work, I'm using these little containers, and I've already had black in there. You can use the Dazzle Dip, which is a black with a sparkle, or you can use a plain, just the plain matte black, which is wonderful. The line work with this is fantastic. So I'd dump a little in there, add a tiny bit of the Prolong just to give it a different consistency. So you want it a little bit more watery when you're doing your line work. Glitter. This is a balm base, and I just pull it down on top. It goes directly over the paint, down right there, pulling that in, down piecing right here. I think that looks pretty. Maybe a little tiny bit right where the sparkle is from the bling. And there's just a floral design with some bling. I hope you liked it.